Hello friends, I'm Julia and I knit a lot. Welcome to my channel, Julia Knitsalot. This is the third time now that I'm filming this introduction. Well, welcome. So many people have watched my last video on my stash update, organization, Stashdown 2026, and some people have found my channel, so welcome. Maybe I should reintroduce myself very briefly. I am Julia and I live in Switzerland. I am 38. I have reached the point where you forget how old you are. So I am 38, I think. I have a family and a very full life, so I don't film every week. But when I do film, I try to keep things very authentic and very real. And yeah, I talk mainly about knitting, sometimes about other creative things. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to give you an update for January. It's January 31st today, but when this goes live, it will probably already be next week, so somewhere in February. And I thought, it's easy to kind of claim I want to reduce my stash and I want to use up what I have and things like that. But then you also kind of have to, do it. So one way to kind of keep myself accountable for this and to kind of actually stick with it is to give you an update every now and then on how things are going. I hope you find that interesting and maybe it will also motivate you. So very briefly, I want to show you I have one finished object, which is a pair of mitts, the LC mitts by Ailbíona McLochlainn. And I haven't worn them yet since I finished these mitts, because it's not as cold anymore as it was when I made them, when I started them. And I actually don't really like wearing mitts. I only really wear these kinds of things or gloves when it's very cold, below 0. And usually our temperatures are somewhere between 0 and 5. And that for me is manageable. I don't like having my hands. I just don't like it that much. When it's, they're cozy and everything. I just, in my everyday life, I only wear them occasionally. These are made with Noro Silk Garden Socks Solo and a strand of Drops Alpaca Brushed Silk. And yeah, I made them from stash, so I'm very proud of that. And then I thought, well, let's make a matching hat. And I started the LC beanie. I already made one in red. It's also a pattern by Ailbíona McLochlainn. And it's a top-down hat, and I already got quite far. And then I thought, I think this is turning out a little bit too big. It's quite loose. I think I will have to frog this. And the thing is, I wanted to use up what I had from the Noro yarn, because it's quite special yarn for me, so I want to use everything that I have. But then I ran out of the fluffy yarn and I had to buy another ball. So this is now being added to my stash. So I bought another ball to finish the hat, and now I'm frogging it, and instead of using up this ball, I added another. I don't think it's not a big deal. I think I will frog it and I will re-knit another hat. But maybe not this winter, because I'm kind of over knitting hats for this winter. I don't feel inspired to knit on hats anymore. So next winter. I was thinking I made one muscle bra hat for my daughter last winter, and it's a little bit big on her, but it's perfect on me. So I think I will just try to do the same thing, exact same thing, with same stitch count and same gauge and everything, but with this yarn combo, and maybe then I will have the perfect matching hat for my mitts. So that's just very briefly what I've been working on in January and what I will be frogging probably. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. Also, I forgot to mention what I'm wearing. I'm a little bit all over the place today, I think. I feel a little bit hurried because my husband has people coming over later on, probably while I'm filming. There will be a doorbell ringing at some point, and so I feel kind of like hurried. They will not bother me, they will do their own thing, but they are playing games and stuff, but still, I don't know. So, what I'm wearing is the Saglan sweater, also by Ailbíona McLochlainn. That's a coincidence, I guess, today. And I really like wearing this sweater. I wear it a lot now in winter, and I finished it somewhere in spring. I started in spring and I finished everything except for the neckline. I redid that about 3 times, and I think I finally finished off the neckline in summer. And I actually talk about this sweater as a finished object in my second video on this channel. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about the pattern and the yarn, you can go back to that video. It's episode 2, and you can check it out. The yarn is also Noro Silk Garden Sock Solo, but a different colorway. It's a discontinued colorway, and that was quite a journey to get that color, because I really wanted to have that colorway but couldn't find it anywhere. And in the end I ordered it from the US. But you can go back to that video and you will hear everything about the sweater. I really like it. The fit is really good, and I was thinking about making a second one. It fits really well. One modification that I did a split hem. So yeah, one thing that I don't like, I lost my pillow. Yeah, again, I'm at that age where I can't sit on a chair anymore without getting a back pain, so I have to have a pillow. Oh goodness. So this, what I don't like about my sweater is that I used mohair. I used the Rowan Kid Silk case, I think it's called, and I don't really like it. So I have to wear a long sleeve underneath, and it also comes up quite high, so it doesn't itch me here, and then it's fine. But I already got rid of most of the mohair that I have in stash. The only mohair that I still have is 2 skeins of hand-dyed mohair that my husband bought me, and it looks really nice, and I don't want to destash it because it was a gift. I think it was really thoughtful of him, and it's hand-dyed, so it's, you know, special. So I don't know yet what I will do with it. Maybe a cardigan with a very deep V, so it doesn't sit close on my neck. Okay, so that's that. What else? I have a list. Hello again. So I had to change quickly so I can show you my current work in progress. This has been lingering for quite a while. I will tell you why in a minute. So this is the port jacket and it's almost done. Let me show you. The only thing that's missing is the button band and the neck. And it's still on the needle, and I'm currently working on the tubular bind-off. That's the reason actually why it has been sitting for a while, among others. So I started the bind-off this morning, and I wanted to do that before I record the video, and I just I started it, and this is not ideal. It took me about 15 minutes to do this much, and I still have the rest of the hem to bind off, so I thought I will do this at some later point when I'm watching a movie or something, because yeah, I don't have the time right now to do this. I started this in August. I'm using, do I have the yarn somewhere? Nope. I'm using Sandnes Garn Pear Gynt in this tweedy color. I really like the effect of that. And I'm also using Kammerrose Mittens, and it's the first time that I'm using Pear Gynt, so I'm not sure yet how I will like the yarn. I know that some people find it itchy, but this is intended to be worn as a jacket, so not as a sweater that I am wearing on my bare skin, but more like an outer layer, maybe for taking a walk in August, in autumn, or in spring. So I will probably always have something underneath. So then it's fine, I think. This cardigan is taking quite a while, because I keep having kind of obstacles. So the last time I showed this was a couple of months ago, I think, and I haven't done the sleeves yet. I think I was about halfway across one sleeve, and I wasn't really happy with the depth of the armhole, and I felt it looks really saggy. And so I stopped for at least a month. I didn't pick it up, and I was considering frogging the whole thing. And then my sister came over for a visit. I have two sisters, and the younger one, she is about to graduate in fashion design, so she has a kind of understanding for clothing, how they fit, and you know, these kinds of issues, oversized garments and shoulder construction and things like that. So I showed it to her and asked her, what's your opinion? Do you think this is too loose and the sleeve will be huge? And she said, no, it's perfect, just keep going. So I did. I trusted her and the pattern, and I kept going. And now I'm quite happy with the fit. I did, as you can see, a contrasting color for the bind-off on the sleeves. I think it looks quite cool. And I also want to do the same thing for the collar. So the collar comes up quite high. It's kind of a standing collar, and you will fold it. And because I'm not really sure about the yarn, and I'm really sensitive in this area, I thought it might be a good idea to use a different yarn on the inside of the collar. So I will use this yarn again on the inside as a contrasting color, and I think it will look really cool. I hope. So yeah, that's the thing that's left to do now, is do the tubular bind off, then pick up for the button band, do the other button band, and then do the collar. So it's not that much, but it always involves a little bit of focus. And with the tubular bind off, it's not the first time I'm doing that. It's kind of it's not well, it is easy once you get used to it, but it does still take a little bit of focus for me. And I'm left-handed, and the sewn bind off is worked from right to left, so it's probably intended for right-handed. So I kind of trained myself to do the bind off with my right hand, and I can do it now. It's no problem, but I think it just strains my hand a little bit more. So all these things kind of mean that once I hit that point where I'm supposed to do the bind off, I never do it. I never pick it up, because in my head I think, okay, this will take some mental effort. You need some quiet time. You need at least an hour to do this whole bind off. And in the evenings when I do have time for that, I'm usually too tired. And during the days, I'm either, getting stuff done, or I have my kids at home, and then I can't really focus on these steps that are involved in the bind off, because it's about 4 or 5 steps per sequence. So yeah, but this weekend my kids are not home, so I'm determined to finish the bind off this weekend. And then the next step, picking up for the button band and doing the double knit button band. It will look really nice, but again, in my head I'm just thinking, it will take so much mental effort, and you do need some quiet moment for that. And then it actually doesn't, it's usually not that big of a deal. Yeah, but yeah, this is, the sleeves turned out, I already blocked this just to kind of estimate the length and everything. And the sleeves turned out a little bit longer than I wanted, but it will be fine. It will be fine. Yeah, and now I probably have white fluff everywhere, because this cardigan is actually quite fluffy. Yeah, and hopefully soon you will see this in as a finished object. Probably by the time I'm done with this, it will be too warm to wear it. That's my usual pattern. By the time I'm done with the warm garments, the weather is turning warmer again, and I'm not wearing them. So yeah. And once this is done, this will get a lot of yarn out of my stash tally, because this is about 5 balls of midnight sole and maybe 10. This will probably take around 10 or 11 balls of the pear gint. So yeah, that will be a lot of yarn that I can take out of my stash. Let's put this somewhere. Okay, the next project that I want to show you, I already started in my last video. And I'm actually, this is the project that I'm most excited about at the moment, and that I feel most inspired to work on, because I can play around with color and I'm using Stash, so that's really fun. So I'm working on the Jilli Jam by Ventzel. This is how far I've come. And if you watched my last video, you might remember that I said I want to use red and pink and orange and some neutrals in between. And I did start in that color scheme, but I kept undoing the yolk because I wasn't happy with the colors. And I tried, adding red or adding orange, and I just feel like, especially orange, doesn't really suit me. I rarely wear orange, and if I do, I usually wear it in summer. But in winter, I'm so pale, I just feel like orange doesn't really look good on me. So I kept redoing the colors, and that's also a reason why it actually took me quite a while to make some progress on the sweater. But now I'm really happy with it, and now I'm kind of cruising. So I decided, instead of the orange and red, I went for the pink. It was already in there from the beginning, so that's not a big deal. That wasn't any change. But I decided to add in the blues and lighter shades of pink. And now I'm really happy with how it's going. Right now, I can't work on it because I actually had to order more yarn. I bought yarn for this sweater. I started it as a stash busting sweater, and it will still be a stash busting sweater. A lot of yarn that I'm using for this sweater is from Stash, but I felt like I had like a very specific vision for the colors, and then I started playing around with what I had. I added a lot of colors that I already had, and I was never happy, and I really wanted to have this kind of very light blush pink, and I didn't have any, and so I kept trying other colors, and I was never happy with it. And in the end, I decided, you know what, let's just buy it. It's still a lot of it, most of it will still be from Stash. There's a lot of different yarns going into this. So let me show you. Because I arranged them like this. I decided this time I actually really like to have it in a box like this, where I really can just see all the colors, and it's really inviting to use them, and you can quickly see what you still have and how you can combine them, and then you can put them away easily. I think it's more manageable than just throwing everything into a bag, and then it always gets tangled up. So here I have all the drops air in one line, so I can just take whatever I need, and when I'm done I will put it back, and then I can take the glue or whatever I need. And on the other side I have all the other smaller yarn, like the fingering weight yarns and some DK that also go into this sweater. So there's actually a bunch of yarn now in here that I originally wanted to use that I'm probably not going to put into the sweater after all, and I might actually take it out of the basket. So the orange, for instance, I wanted to add it, and it still fits with the rest, and I thought about doing a small stripe of orange, but now I'm actually already, whoops, that ball just rolled away. I'm actually already quite far in the body of this sweater, and I'm thinking maybe I will just now stick with the colors that I've used and not introduce any new color. Just use all the colors, keep repeating the color sequence that I have now. I think that will look more coherent than now adding a completely new color because I'm already quite far down on the body. So I don't think I will introduce a new color now. For the hem, the pattern has a rounded hem at the back with short rows, so it is lower in the back than in the front. And I don't think I will do that. I think I will do the same thing that I did with my Saglan sweater. I will do a split hem, and then I can do however long I want. But because I added stripes into the pattern, the original doesn't have stripes, but I wanted to use all these yarns, so I added the stripes. And I think with the stripes, if you have short rows in the back and it goes lower than the front, it kind of looks off. It doesn't really, I think it would look weird maybe if I add stripes into that rounded hem in the back. So I will not do that. So I ran out of storage space. So I'm sorry for the interruption. I had to delete some files to make space for a new video. Okay, what I wanted to say about the sleeve. As you see, I already started one of the sleeves because I had to order the light pink yarn, this one, and because it's drops yarn, I had to order it online. I couldn't just go to the store and buy it because I don't think it's available anywhere in Switzerland in a store. It's only available online. So I ordered the light pink, and I also ordered a neutral, which I haven't used yet, but the other one is almost used up, so I think I will break into this one. And then I had to wait for that. So while I was waiting, I was starting on the sleeve, and then once that arrived, I kept going with the body, and I continued on the sleeve every now and then. And I did that also because it helps me estimate how much yarn I need to put aside for the sleeves. So let's talk about that for a little bit. I did record, I really get a kick out of tracking my yarn. So in my notebook, I started this list. Once I split between the for the body and the sleeves, I started noting down how many rows do I knit in the dark blue, what color combo, what yarn combo am I using. So for instance, I was using this and this for the blue stripe, and then I'm weighing the yarn beforehand and I'm weighing it afterwards. And so I know for 4 rows of this yarn combo, I need about 6 grams. And then I did the same thing. Once I started working on the sleeve, I did the same thing for the sleeve. So now I know how much I need of each yarn for a sleeve. And then I know how much I need to put aside for the other sleeve. And because I'm working with scraps or with partial skeins, I will arrive at a point where I need to know how many rows of this yarn can I use in the body and still have enough for the sleeve. So that's how now I know 1 row of drops air in the body will require approximately this amount for 1 sleeve, and then I need to double it because there's also another sleeve. I think it's about 50% of the amount that you need for the body. If you put aside about 50% for both sleeves, so 25% for 1 sleeve, I think you will be on the safe side if you ever try to do this for your own project. Because I do know that it's kind of something that people find tricky sometimes to then keep the stripes neatly lined up, and especially if you're using leftovers, you still need to you need to know how much can I use, and I still have enough for the sleeve. But I can't stop looking at it. I really want to finish this as soon as possible because I want to wear it, and I want to finish it before winter is over. This is definitely the project that I'm most excited about right now. And I showed it to my husband yesterday, and he was looking at it like, really? So is this supposed to be a sweater or... Come on, isn't this obvious? And then said, yeah, it looks fine. I think he doesn't really like it, but it's okay. And I also asked my daughter, and she was being polite and kind of not really wanting to tell me her opinion. And then I said, you can tell me if you don't like it. And she said, I don't like it. It has too much pink. She hates pink. Probably because she's a girl, people assume that she likes pink. And as a reaction, she really hates pink. So there's too much pink in the sweater. I don't like it. She doesn't really sound like that. I do like it. One thing that I was struggling with in the beginning, I redid the yoke about 3 or 4 times because I started the stripes much earlier, and I don't like how when you do a raglan and you do stripes, it gets really angular here. It gets really boxy. You can still see it here. And I didn't like that look on me. I felt it made my shoulders look really broad. So after a couple of times rechoosing colors, in the beginning I was really struggling with choosing colors and also with placing the stripes. So after a while I decided, let's just make most of the yoke one color and then start the striping a little bit further down so it doesn't, the effect is a little bit less pronounced. Okay, so that's it, and hopefully, so one thing, I'm not currently working on it because I had to order more yarn again. Because I realized this one that I ordered was not, I do have that colorway, but I'm not using it as much as I thought. The one that I'm actually using much more is the white. It's not exactly the same. So this is kind of like a wheat natural, and this is the white. And I'm running out of this, and I want to use more of the white. And so I had to order another bowl, and I'm waiting for that. And yeah. But I'm glad I bought this one. I think it brings the color palette together. If you have a look, let's rearrange this so you can see. I think it really brings together the color palette. It kind of gives a nice transition between the pink and the more neutral colors and the blues. So yeah, and these ones I will probably take out because I'm not using them. I also had to buy some light blue. I didn't have any very soft light blue, and I wanted to combine it with this kind of blue to make a kind of very cool toned blue. Yeah. While I'm waiting for my yarn, I think I might start the other sleeve, or I will start weaving in ends because there's a lot of ends. There's a lot of ends. So I might start weaving in ends while I'm waiting for my yarn to arrive. So this brings me to my stash update for January, which is not working in my favor because I bought yarn, and all the yarn that I bought, I have to say, is yarn that I bought with the intention of adding it into a project directly. So as I said, there are 2 balls of Drops Air in here already that I bought. There's a third one on the way, which is not in this list yet. And I bought some, sock yarn. I will use this for heels, for socks, if I don't use all of it. So that's fine. And I bought the fluffy yarn for the hat, which I'm frogging. So this will not get used right away, but I think I will retry the project next winter, so it will hopefully get used then. So what I have added into my stash in January, 250 grams. So it's not too bad. It's not that much. And out, I have already used, because I have made the mitts, I have actually already used 100. That's not quite true. I have used 194.5 grams. So that went out of my stash. So I have added about 55 grams to my stash. It's not that bad. I know that most of the yarn that I have bought will probably get out of my stash next month, because I hope I will finish my sweater soon. So that most of that will be used right away. I have also gifted some yarn, but not much, like 3 balls of yarn, to my sister. Hello! She watches all of my videos, and she got so inspired that she now started to knit. So she was here on a visit, and that's not the one who studies fashion design, it's the other sister. She was also here, and she wanted to learn how to knit, so I gave her some yarn of mine, and I also gave her some needles and showed her how to knit. And so that went out of my stash as a gift, so to speak. Yeah. So I think I'm on track. I added a little bit, but not too much, and I know that in February, hopefully, once my 2 big projects, the port jacket and the Jilli Jam, are done, there will be a lot of yarn that will get out of my stash, and I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, I really want to wear it. I really want to wear it soon, before spring comes, because it will be too warm. I really want this yarn to arrive soon so I can continue knitting. Yeah, I think I will have to start with the other sleeve just to get some progress into the sweater. And I hope that Drops Air holds up well. If you have used Drops Air in a sweater before, please let me know how does it hold up. I am holding it together with other yarns, so I think that should also help with the pilling and of either of the yarns. I have used Double Sunday, for instance, and I know that Double Sunday does pill a bit, but because I'm holding it together with something else, I think it will kind of prevent the pilling a little bit. I don't know how the Drops Air how it will behave if you wear it and wash it a couple of times. So if you have any experience with Drops Air in a sweater, please let me know. I have used it for kids' sweaters, and I think it was fine. But yeah, we will see. Yeah, and when I'm done with my 2 big sweaters, it will be almost spring, and I'm already thinking about spring projects. So let me know. Do you already plan for spring? I'm not really I'm not in the mood yet to knit something like t-shirts or camisoles or anything like that, but I do think about what projects could I work on for the spring season. Let me know if you have any plans or ideas. I think I might take out one of my fingering weight whips and start working on that again. Yeah, so I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed my video. I think it was a little bit rambly today, a lot of interruptions. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I hope you're getting through winter if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, through this gray winter weather. It is really gray here this weekend. I'm just so over it. That's why I'm knitting on this colorful sweater, because I need color. I'm really looking forward to spring and to warmer weather. We have almost gotten through winter, so only maybe one more month to go, and then spring is coming. So hang in there if you are like me and you have to endure the gray winter. And if you're not, I hope still you're doing well. Happy crafting, happy knitting. Take care of yourself, and see you next time. Bye.